relevant everywhere. This is a little bit more about the main campus in Ottawa. So we have 42,000 students total. So that would be all of the domestic and international population, as well as all of the full-time and part-time programs, because we also offer continuing education with many part-time and evening or weekend programs as well. The credential at a college, we offer degrees, just like universities. We call them applied degrees because they're more practical again, and they have co-op. But the main programs that we offer at a college are called diplomas and advanced diplomas, so 2 years and 3 years, as well as certificates and graduate certificates, which are kind of at the master's level, but they're not masters, and we do not do research. The research that a college does is applied, so it's embedded within all of our programs, and I'll touch a little bit on that later. Just to give you now an overview, because I know that actually most of you are not from Canada, or there's somebody from the US. A little bit similar, perhaps. Education system in Canada, I put Algonquin there as being a community college and polytechnic. We offer a bit of a different stream for students after high school. So you have your traditional university studies and pathways going from the 4-year bachelor degree in Canada, a bachelor degree 4 years, moving on to a master's and then do your doctoral degree. You also have the opportunity to go to a community college for 2 or 3 year diplomas or applied bachelor. There's a lot of pathways going back and forth for college students to do maybe 2 years at a college and then jump to university and complete a degree in 2.5, 3 years. At the same time, we also receive a lot of university students back into the college system, just like Yinxin today. She is a degree holder from China, and she wanted a new experience or change her career or get a new set of skills. So colleges are great for that because we offer shorter programs and they're very practical. So you can get to your goals right away. That's just another slide with the same information. Okay, so before I talk a little bit more about the 2 specific programs that we advertise today, I do want to kind of give you an overview of the breadth of the faculties and the program offering at Algonquin College. I won't go into details because we would probably be here all afternoon, since we offer about 300 programs. So I will just talk about the faculties or the schools at a higher level, and then leave it at that for now. Of course, you can always get more information on our website or by contacting us after this webinar. So we do have a School of Advanced Technology. And Ottawa being a technology leader, we offer a lot of very relevant programs, and we have a lot of partnerships with the companies and industries around us for applied research, for co-op, for job placements, for group projects. We also have a very strong hospitality and tourism school. In this instance, again, we always work with the sector to understand what's needed. And most of our teachers come from the industry. A lot of them have masters and PhDs, but all of them will have some kind of work experience in the sector, in the industry, and then come back to teach those very practical skills to our students. For the hospitality and tourism school, we actually have practical facilities right on campus. We have a restaurant that you can go to and have a dinner that's run by our students. We have a spa, we have hair salon, we run a travel agency. So these things are embedded within the program itself. We also have our School of Business, which offers most of our programs, a lot of high theory classes combined with very practical courses as well as work opportunities. A little bit more about the business school. I put the Accelerate Your Career here because we just talked about these smaller programs like 2 years or 1 year program that are great for young professionals who just want to, get to the next level. We have a School of Community Studies with programs like early childhood education and health programs. We actually do accept international students in our health programs. Seats are very limited though, and you have to apply very early, but we've got an array of opportunities there as well. This is probably the most known schools at Algonquin College because it's very unique. We have a Center for Construction Excellence, and we offer every program from welding and plumbing all the way to degree in building science and postgraduate in green architecture and so on. So I will talk a little bit more about the specific program in building automation system operations later. Great facilities here when you see the buildings. We have quite a few new buildings that are excellent for our students in architecture technology, for instance, because they can go through the building with their professors and learn about construction. A few more here. We have a School of Media and Design. And again, the work integrated learning being part of every program at Algonquin. It's not always a 4-month paid work term. It could be a smaller unpaid internship or applied research. Again, we do have a very strong applied research department that will basically what applied research does is that we work with real companies on real projects. Our students will develop things, will develop either real things, ideas, solutions, proposals for a real company or for a real customer. Practicum is mainly for health programs where our practical nursing students, they have practical classes in our simulation hospital on campus, but then they also have to go and do a practical at a real hospital. So as you can tell by now, we're very connected to the employers. They do annual curriculum review of our programs. They tell us what's needed in the industry. Our teachers are from the industry. And every 5 years, we do a full-on program quality review to make sure that it's still relevant and that our students are still getting jobs. We're very connected to research, so applied research. Again, it's more on experiential learning. Opportunities amongst the real world with real world projects. And finally, very, very connected to experience. So whatever that means, we want to make sure that our students have that experience. It is part of our learning outcome. It is part of what our employers love about colleges is that they can hire our graduates and they know that our graduates can hit the ground running with the skills that they've received at Algonquin College. Okay, so the Building Automation Systems Operation Program. I'm not sure if some of you are there for this program, but hopefully you are, because this is a great program that maybe has a title that's not very clear, but it will be for you if you're interested, because it is a graduate certificate, so you must have a degree in the field in order to apply. And basically, if you have a background in electrical, instrumental, robotics, electronics, information technology, building science, building systems control, or mechanical related, you would be a great candidate for this program if you like to If you have interest and inclination for technology, a commitment to achieving sustainable practices, especially in the building technology field, then this program is for you. It is a program that was created only 2 years ago, and it's basically to work in sustainable building or smart buildings. It is a very rapidly expanding field around the world. Our graduates get jobs seriously like this. That's why I wanted to give a little promo on this program, because it's definitely one that is there's a lot of shortage of qualified professionals in the field. So that would be something very interesting for anyone with the right background to consider. Some of the career opportunities here in terms of what exactly can you do. You can work in building automation system operator or building controls, be a coordinator, a process leader, a technician, or even a consultant. So we do get a lot of companies coming and hiring our students even before they graduate, actually. And that is not true for every program, but this one is a big one. Algonquin College is currently the only college in Canada to offer this specific program, and we offer it through our Center of Construction Excellence. So if you have invested, we have invested in our state-of-the-art labs exactly to give students the right tools to be successful in today's world. And all of our faculty actually work in the field, and the program includes the field projects, and your studies are based on real-life examples. Exciting, no? The other program I wanted to touch on a little bit about is the Strategic Global Business Management. So this one is offered by a different school. It's the School of Business. If you have an analytical, inquisitive mind, this is again for somebody who already has a degree, so maybe somebody like Yinjin today. If you're passionate about international business, diplomacy, geopolitical affairs, if you're motivated to work independently, you want to build your leadership skills, you're ethically conscious and empathetic global citizen, if you're a strong communicator with interest in negotiation cultures in a global context, then this program is for you. And you could work in a lot of different fields, actually, in retail, wholesale, trade manager, advertising, marketing, public relations, any customer and information service sector. One semester of this 2-year program. So this is a graduate certificate, but it's 2 years. So it's very interesting because it is at the graduate level. It is 2 year. It will give you the opportunity to apply for 3-year postgraduate work permit. It will give you also the Canadian context necessary for employment in Canada. And here on the side, you can see the career environments that some of our graduates get employment with. Okay, so I've talked a lot, and I've talked enough, I think, for now, a little bit. So I did want to kind of give Yinjin a little bit more time to explain her, well, not necessarily explain, but I will ask her some questions, and she can tell you what her experience has been with us. So Yinjin, I know, because I know you and we've chatted. You actually came to Ottawa and to Algonquin College during COVID. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about that experience? First of all, when it was, and then the experience and the services that you've received from Algonquin College in terms of navigating this crazy pandemic that we're living.
Yeah. Um, when I arrived at Ottawa, yeah, it's in COVID the next last year, and at the first, the Algonquin College has many pre-departures meetings online. So if you want to move to Canada, you can you just need to register these meetings and join it. You can get so many useful informations on these meetings, like a quarantine or like so visit a policy like this. So you don't worry about it. And then when I arrived at Ottawa Airport, Algonquin College has a free airport pickup service for students. So I'm not worried about my transport program. Transport questions, and they can drop the students to their hotels or their rooms. And I quarantined in hotel in downtown, so they take me to the hotel, and Algonquin College has a plan to pay my half of my accommodation fees in hotel. So I think this is very good for students because it can save some money for me. And I compared another universities in Ottawa, they don't have this service. So I think this is very good for students when they need to quarantine in hotel instead of the house or instead of the Airbnbs. So I think this is very good. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm glad you had a good experience. Where do you live now?
I'm living in a house. I rent a house near the college. Yeah, it's just
Okay.
a room. Yeah,
And do you go? How is your because your all of your courses are still offered online? I understand, right? How is
yeah.
that going? How's remote learning being in Ottawa?
Yeah, I actually I had already finished my two terms online. The first term is I studied in China, and the next one I studied in there. Um, at the at the beginning, for me, it's a little bit tricky because the language barrier is a big big questions for me, but I pushed myself to learn more, and my professors are very good. You can ask so many questions online in the class, or if you don't know, if you are shy or you don't want to talk more online, so you can send emails for them, ask the questions, and they can help me a lot. So I think online classes is not bad right now, but at the beginning it's so hard. Yeah.
Okay, so you got used to it. I guess now you're in the same time zone, so it's a bit easier.
Yeah.
Um, but you still go on campus, right? I understand you're close to the campus. Do you go there to enjoy some of the facilities? I know the gym is open, some of the restaurant or cafeteria. Do you sometimes go on campus?
um Cause I'm very near the campus, so I always go to campus to
Hmm.
study by myself. So I think
Ah,
yeah, but my course is always online. So
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and hopefully all of this will stop by May. We are hopeful that we will all go back to campus. Um, I have one last question for you before we actually finish the presentation and move on to the Q&A. Oh, and by the way, for the audience here, at the end of the presentation, we will actually play a little kind of virtual tour of Algonquin College so you can see those facilities that I was talking about. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, my last question for you is, what are your goals, your in terms of work in Canada specifically?
I want to be a UX designer or web developer when I graduated, because this is my major, and I choose this major because I love it. So I changed my majors. My bachelor degree is finance, but I don't like it. So I think I want to be a I want to be working in a tech company in Ottawa, and I know there are so many tech companies in there. So I want to be a UX designer. And I'm trying to find some internship or looking for some job positions online. So yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, thank you, Yanchin. Stay with me though, because probably some questions will need your help. But I'll just quickly finish the presentation. Thank you, Luke. This is just to give you an idea of the cost of living in Ottawa. So with everything, your program tuition fees as well as your living expenses, as long as you're, don't want to live in a castle. Of course, you will be a student, but if you don't have a lot of fundings, then it's okay. You can make it and you can work part-time, but you still need to be looking at anywhere between 30 to 35,000 Canadian dollars per year. And for the first year, when you apply for a study permit, the Canadian government wants to see that you have enough money for at least 1 year without working. Even though you can work as soon as you land, it's better if you can show them that you won't need to, so you can really focus on your studies. Because as Yinchin said, in the beginning, it's not easy. Then you get used to it. But the first semester, you actually should not plan on working. You should plan on settling in your new life, your new city, and your new school. This is another overview of what you would be paying for and some of the costs. So our academic programs range between 16, wow, I need to update this PowerPoint presentation. It's more like 16,000 to about 18, 19,000 Canadian dollars per year. The cost of living here, this is actually information from Invest Ottawa, which I put in here. So looking at it, 1,200 average monthly rent for an apartment. If you want to buy a condo, which is an apartment, you should count at least 300,000. And a house will be going for $500,000. We're talking here in Canadian dollars, not US dollars. All right, so I think it's time to stop the presentation here and to go to the questions. So I don't know, Luke, if you want to jump in or if I just go myself to the questions, read them out loud. Can you repeat the question? So I hope I understand the question correctly. And into lecturing, so into lectures by professors? Is that how you also read the question? Yes, okay, great. So yeah, so actually that's a very excellent question, and it's the answer is going to again give you an idea of what a polytechnic and college are. We don't really have lectures. If you're picturing your studies in a big auditorium with hundreds of students listening to one professor that's at the bottom giving a lecture, that's not really what a college is about. Colleges have much smaller classes, anywhere between 20 for some programs and 35, 40 for others. It's a very kind of interactive type of teaching and learning. So I would say that no, we do not really have lectures per se. Of course, you will have a teacher in front of the class that will present and teach you the material, but definitely more in an interactive format. I hope that answers the questions. Some good feedback here. So if by secondary school certificate you mean high school or grade 12, I know some countries it's grade 11 and then you finish your secondary school and then you go to post-secondary, then yes, the answer is yes. Many of our programs, and actually the one that Yinshin is studying right now, is a diploma, which means we will accept secondary school certificate graduates. You are correct. Then the two programs that I talked about are at a higher level. So for these two programs, we ask for a degree, but many programs at Algonquin, we only look at your secondary transcript. So the fact that I don't know what the European fee is probably gives you an indication that the answer is no. What is the European fee? Is it like like an Erasmus program or? Let's check back in, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. So you have to have a university degree in those related fields that were mentioned, like building science, electronics, electrical, mechanical. There's actually the whole kind of list on the webpage. As an international student, you also have to have an English level. And we look for IELTS or TOEFL. For a postgraduate program like this building program, we ask for IELTS 6.5 with no band lower than 6.0. If you do not yet have IELTS, we can also look at conditional offers. We give you academic acceptance and we give you some time to complete the IELTS or any kind of English program. Did you have an IELTS, Yinjin, when you applied to Algonquin College?
I have a LT. I participated in my LT test, and my score is match the diploma. So I'm not needed to study in EAP or like that. But I know people needed to your LT or TOEFL or PTE or yeah like this. You can
Mm-hmm.
join the program. Yeah.
Right, right. What Yinjin just mentioned, the EAP, this is our English for Academic Purpose program, which is basically a pathway program if you need more English upgrading. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. All right, that's a good question, a question that many students have. Algonquin College does not have entry scholarships for international students at this point. One of the main reasons is that we are actually, if you compare to other international options for you, we're actually quite reasonably priced. So the investment is not too high. We do have some in-program bursaries or grants. They're not huge. They're not, it's not like in the States where you can get full scholarship for your entire studies. In terms of grants, so what we would suggest students is to look into their own country, because countries like Sweden, I know Sweden has a great government program that will give loans or grants or bursaries to students to study abroad. So I would first check with my own government, my own country's opportunities for grants, and but they're not available via our school at this point. No, not. Yeah, and my answer here is no. We do not have reduced fees for any nationality. Actually, the price is the same for everyone. Yes. Great question. I said yes because it kind of depends where you're from, and it depends on your degree. um, and the reasons are that very often to apply for a study permit, um, we want to make sure that you have completed high school. And sometimes, depending on the degree that you present, it might be a school that we don't know. So we actually don't know what the requirements were to get into that school. So we might ask you to submit your high school diplomas, your high school transcripts. If you don't have them for some reasons, because you lost them in a fire or something like that, there are always ways that we could test students, not for every program, but in general, yes, we do need to see your high school transcripts for every program at any level, just to be on the safe side. Okay? I I do see one sorry, look, I just she's yeah, Michelle is asking if we use it, no, yeah, that's fine. It's mhm. So AC definitely accepts ILAC pathway. Now I cannot guarantee which one exactly, which certificate, because I don't have them all in my head. But as long as it is the ILAC uni pathway certificate, then yes, we would accept it for most programs. Some of the programs, like highly competitive, like practical nursing, you actually still need to do an IELTS. But most programs, including the two programs I discussed today, we will accept the ILAC pathway certificate. Yep. Well, first of all, thank you for coming and for staying the whole time, and do stay for the last little bit so you can see a little bit more the facilities, which is really awesome. I guess my final word is, you know, short programs in Canada. If you are at that level where you're looking for a career change or something to boost your own personal motivation or mainly your career, I'm sure, is something that you should consider very seriously because they are great investments in terms of what you're getting from that education. It's not just going to be a diploma or degree that you could put on your wall. It's going to give you so much more in terms of linguistic ability, in terms of working in groups, in terms of adaptability, in terms of employment opportunities, in terms of network around the world. It's just when you start thinking about this. So I would encourage you to kind of look at your 5 to 10 year mid to long term goals and try to see how a program that's something that either is geared towards what you love doing or that is just adding to what you already have in your portfolio isn't something that would be a really good investment. So on this, I would like to also thank Yinshin for coming and joining us to give her feedback and her experience. And if you wanted to add something, please go ahead now.
Yeah. Oh, we have another questions. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very happy to invited for this webinars. For my experience, I researched a lot when I decided to study abroad. Why I choose Canada? Because I think, as I mentioned before, I think this is a safe country. And the next is I know when I graduated, I can get a 3 years of work permit. And if you have a long a long plan to settle down in Canada, I think this country has a good liberal immigration policies. And in Ottawa, I know there are so many tech companies or business companies you can find a job because most of my friends they find scientists find a job in Ottawa, so they give me more confidence. So I choose Algonquin College and I choose Ottawa. Yeah. So this is my experience, and I'm very happy to join today's webinar.
Yeah. So if you apply individually, you have to create an account on our application portal, and we will be talking to you directly, but you will have to do all the steps. So you will have to get your transcript translated and certified. You will have to book your ICE test. You will have to upload the documents to the portal. You will have to go back and forth. You will have to apply for the study permit yourself. If you choose an agent, and it would have to be an authorized agent by Algonquin College. We don't work with just any agent. Then they will do some of that work for you. It means that they will be the one accessing the portal. We will be corresponding with them. They should help you with translating and certifying the documents, helping you with understanding all the steps that you need to do, and we will be corresponding with them. So for you, there is no financial difference. The cost is still the same. If you think that you can manage everything on your own, then you could apply yourself. But if you want some help, especially when it comes to study permit application, then Algonquin College does not get involved with that at all. We only issue the letter of offer that you need, and then that's it. If you want somebody to help you, then it's good to have an authorized agent to help you with that. Did you have an agent, Yinshin? Do we have time, or do we need to cut? Yeah. Okay.
I know in China, we have an agency to help students to apply the college or university. So I think it depends on individual person. If you want to do all of those steps by yourself, so you can choose individual. But if you want to need some help, or if you are working busy or study busy, I think choose the agency to help you. I think it's a good choice. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a great idea, actually. Yeah, but this is our health service. Or we have a clinic on campus that you can go and talk to a nurse or a doctor if need be. Health insurance is actually included in your tuition fee as an international student. So this is a professionally run health clinic. This is not run by our students, just in case you were wondering. This is one of our labs, typical kind of applied research labs with a lot of equipment, as you can see, small size classes. Um, I'm not exactly sure what program this would be. I think it's in our yeah, it's in our applied research center. So they're doing all sorts of experiments, and I know we have like 3D printers and simulation equipment. So this is our new library. Yeah, and this is a brand new building that's actually quite beautiful and bright, as you can see with the wood up there. So obviously pictured students everywhere, but this is a library where you can go and check out some books and use computers if you didn't have your laptop on you. The whole campus has that similar kind of feel with wood, and this is the outside courtyard. The students can go in the summer. We usually put picnic tables there, and this is our brand new building where the library is, with the whole side is window. And this is our commemoration to our Indigenous land and Indigenous people in Canada. We're doing a lot of efforts to trying to be part of the reconciliation process. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please look into it, Reconciliation Canada, and read a little bit more about what's going on over there. I think it's very, very important, especially if you intend on coming as a student and maybe even as an immigrant later. You have to read about this. This is our old gym, actually. Because this is also the old gym, because we do have a new gym, a brand new gym that has like a suspended running track, which is not yet part of this video because we opened it during COVID and we haven't had a chance to go and do proper filming. So this, if you like this, it's going to be even better. All this to say that it's also part of the tuition fee to be able to access the facilities like the gym. We have sports team that you can join. This is one of our cafeterias. And we have several cafeterias across the campus. I mean, when you think about it, 22,000 students, full-time students on campus, not all at the same time, but it is a large campus that is almost like a mini city with so many things that you can do there. You can go in the morning, you can even shop for sweaters, and this is our bookstore. We do have a residence right on campus. If students want to stay in residence, then they will almost never need to leave the campus because right behind us is a grocery store, a mall with a pharmacy and cafes and all sorts of things. Having said that, we also are on a major bus route in Ottawa, so you can jump on a bus and be downtown in about 25 minutes. This is a little shop called Savoir Faire, which is run by our students in culinary management program. Whatever they cook during the day, if it turns out okay, they actually either serve it in our restaurant or they come and sell it here to the public, other students, faculty, staff like myself. So it's very interesting. This is called the Student Commons, so you could see the Starbucks coffee there in the back. This is a building dedicated to students and student services. We have a theater, 700 seats theater. There's areas for you to just hang out with your friends, either study or chit chat. The student association is there. Up there, we're gonna start to see, you can see up there you have student services, counseling, we've got some praying rooms, we've got employment services up there, the travel agents. Here is the residence. This is where students can rent a shared apartment, so private room in a shared unit, and it's right on campus. It's only I don't know, a 2-minute walk to that Starbucks that we just saw. This is the lobby of residence. And here's the unit I'm talking about. So you have your private bedroom with a desk, and then this area here is shared. So it's not huge, but there is a fridge, there is a sink, there is a bathroom with a shower. And on each floor, you will have common areas as well to hang out, or a kitchen with the oven and stove. So your typical student res. Okay, I think now this is the end of the virtual tour, and I see that some of you have gone already. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Luke, and hopefully we'll see you in Canada. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Great. Well,